What's up, you new investors and moneymakers? Welcome back to the channel. Nio released their earning, and this is a warning sign because revenue beats estimate. The gross margin falls short, but this is where Nio can improve. And what happens as a result? You really want to watch out for this analysts, what they are banking on when it comes to Nio. One Wall Street analyst sees 69% upside in Nio stock. Is it a buy now? You decide for yourself. On the top of that, we are also seeing that Nio is the most shorted Chinese ADR in September, says Morgan Stanley. This is slightly dated news, but this is also true for Q4 in my personal opinion, because we have been seeing that what we should be looking at when it comes to Nio, because Morgan Stanley maintains overweight in the Nio stock, and this is the latest article, and this is despite Q4 loss that Nio reported. So this was published on March 5th 2024, so just before a couple of days. I'm going to tell you exactly what you should be looking out for. I have researched a bit of more charts in terms of what is the revenue is looking, what is the delivery looks like for Nio, what is the gross margin and how it is trending historically. Also, what is the vehicle margin for Nio when it comes to SUVs versus sedans, so on and so forth. And lastly, Nio's quarterly net loss in RMB millions. We also want to look into what Nio is targeting in terms of R&D expenses. If you think about, they have been trending between a particular narrowed down line. So they are focusing a lot more on their EBITDA, operating cost, margin, so on and so forth. On top of that, I want to tell you that the short sellers are slowing down lately. Take a look what happened on 5th when we had the results, the Q4 earnings. Right before that, we saw a spike in short volume, right? 67.66%. In FINRA short volume, what that means is with 37 million in volume, we saw 25 million FINRA short volume, which was pretty massive. But guess what? Within just a few days, we are cut in half when it comes to the short volume. As of yesterday on 7th, on Thursday, we saw the short volume was little below 40%. Right before that, on Wednesday, we saw the short volume was 33%. What this all suggests is short sellers are pretty cautious and they really want to watch out for what they're doing. So let's just get right into it. If you are a Nio fan, I need 200 likes on this video. So if you haven't clicked the like button, do hit the like button. We want to share this news and this detail and analysis and research that I have done with more and more people. Likes are for free. Subscribes are for free as well. So support the channel. I don't post a ton of Nio videos, but when I do, I share meaningful information. And you don't want to miss out on Nio. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I request you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because there is a huge analysis. Take a look right here on TipRanks. What the analysts are saying is the consensus, the price that they are targeting is $7.32, and this is the recent change that I have noticed. There are 13 ratings on TipRanks, and I like to see TipRanks, right? 6 are saying buy, 6 are saying hold, and 1 is saying sell. But with all that, take a look. Where are we? With the lowest price point prediction of $4.80. The highest price point prediction is $13. The average is $7.32. So if you're banking on Nio, $13, do hit the like button. If you are banking on average price point $7.32, hey, nothing wrong. There is a potential. You can make money 20, 30, 40%. Do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So let's go back and let's take a look at a sneak peek into what Nio has been doing for the last 4 or 5 days. Last one day, so yesterday, we're down 0.26%. Last 4 days, 5 days, we are up 0.80%, give or take. Right now, for last 1 month, we are pretty flat or a little bit down, 0.86%. Last 6 months, as you already know, there's an opportunity for Nio. But let's get into what Nio is doing in terms of their delivery. And right before that, I also want to talk about what Nio has done in terms of their earning that they shared with us. Right. So there's a ton of research that I have done that I'm going to share in next couple of minutes, and this is pretty meaningful. Now, what is going on? Nio expects its sell momentum and margin to pick up the pace in 2024. So they know that they need to sell more and more cars. Now, what that means is Nio 52-week, we saw that it plunged to the lowest of below $5, right? And it is trending below $5. But the vehicle sales are up 4.6% year over year to $2.1 billion. Now they report the numbers in RMB when you see right here, and you can see that in December Q4 2023, their sales year over year went up 6.47%. What that means is December 2022 they saw 16 billion. Q4 we saw 17.1 billion. We're expecting lower sales in Q1 because of the Chinese holiday and New Year. You already know that. Operating expense 7.90 billion RMB, which was up 7.43% as well. Net income 5.59 billion RMB negative, which was 5.85 billion, right? Negative. Net cash income last year, right now they are controlling that. Negative 5.85 billion last year in December. This year in December, 5.59 billion, which was negative. Now let's go back to this particular analysis. The vehicle margin went up 11.9% versus 6.8% the quarter ago and 11% in Q3 2023. All in all, it tells me a very good story. Gross margin 7.5% versus 3.9% that we had the year ago in the quarter and 8% in Q3 2023. So they are also focusing a lot more on margin, sales, gross margin, and they're trying to shorten the net loss, right? Net loss is down 7.5% from year over year to $756 million, but it's up 17.8% sequentially. So all in all, if you want to see here, this will tell you a better story because it's in form of the graph, and I like to see the visuals. So here it is. Nio quarterly revenue. So we saw that we dipped right here in Q1 and Q2 in 2023, but we picked up pretty quickly in Q3 and Q4. So that is going to be the same story this year, but in slightly larger magnitude. Right? So in Q4 in 2022, we were close to 15,000, about 15,000 rather. So these were our deliveries, our revenue in millions, because the deliveries went up, and when deliveries went down, our revenue went down as well. We went down, but we quickly picked up, and that will be the same story this year. I believe that the Q1 will be better than last year. Q2 will be better than last year as well. But take a look, we jumped back up super high, close to 20,000 RMB in millions, and we got back down, right? So this is the revenue in millions. Now, deliveries, similarly, as I told you, so we went down in Q2. Q3, we went back up last year, I'm talking about. Q4, we went down a little bit, and Q1, we're gonna go deep. So just setting the expectations. Nio quarterly gross margin, once again, they are focusing a ton, my friends, on margin, right? Q1, Q2, Q4, Q1, Q2, we were in the deep, and we got back up. So this is a U-ish shape recovery. It's not exactly the U shape until we get here, but my assumption is they're focusing more and more. It's tough to get back to 15%, but they are targeting. They're focusing on the 10% for sure that I can imagine the gross margin. They're focusing on that one. It's reported that the vehicle margin of 11.9% in the fourth quarter of 2023, which is up 11% from the third quarter. Now, Nio quarterly vehicle margin is again very similar to what we saw the previous chart, so I'm not going in more detail because they both correlate to each other. Now, you want to focus on quarterly net loss in RMB in millions. So they are targeting between 4,000 and 6,000. They don't really want to check out or check the box of 6,000. That's what I can see. These numbers are in RMB millions, but you can see the pattern, right? It goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. But They're focusing on this particular window of 4,000, and the ceiling that they have put for themselves is 6,000. And how they can control that? It is due to the R&D. Nio R&D volume or the expense in RMB went up to 4,000 millions in RMB, right, in Q4, and they controlled back. In Q1, we'll see like it goes down, right? So it is W. So this is W. So they went down, slightly up, down, up, right? So they matched the number for 2023, and they are going to do similar in 2024. I hope you like this insightful information. You're enjoying it. If you're still watching, I want you to hit the like button because I really want this information to go out and people can take more and more advantage. So for YouTube algorithm, click the like button, subscribe to my channel. It'll be super helpful. With that, I also want to mention that there is, since January and February, the losses and seasonally weak months for China. Nio expects the Q1 deliveries to be flat or maybe slightly up to 6% year over year with 31 to 33,000 units that they told us already. So it won't be any surprise when they release the number for Q3 or Q1 rather, and for the month of March, the third month in 2024. So with all that baked in, analysts are targeting for next 12 months, and they are telling us $7.32 from where we are. The $4.80 is the lowest price point that they are targeting, as you can see, but the average analysts are talking about $7.32, and there are 13 ratings. It's not 2, 3, 5. It's a substantial, decent number of analysts that share the rating. 6 buy, 6 hold, 1 sell, right? Let's go back and let's talk about a little bit about shorted volume. So Nio is the most shorted stock, Chinese stock in ADR in September, and that's continuously has been the story. Regardless, Morgan Stanley says it will remain overweight for Nio despite the Q4 loss. And you want to also note that all employees hold Nio shares as of year-end 2022, and that's what we found. And there are a huge number of, or the good substantial percentage of employees, insider, they own Nio Stock at the moment. Yes, the short sellers are getting back down onto their knees. So if you're long, hit the like button. Let's talk slightly about what Nio is doing, and I'll do more analysis within the next couple of days or 3 in my regular video. This is for earning. This is a warning, folks. And take a look, $5.77. That's where we are at. There is $2 potential, 2.5. So it's 50% potential. If you are bullish on Nio, which I am, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen within a week. But there is a silver lining. At one point, it will happen. So Nio, at this point, is part of my portfolio. Take a look what we are doing in terms of the volume. Now, volume is number of shares transacted during a trading session. Average volume, remember, 64.9, so almost 65 million. What did we do yesterday? 46 million. Before that, we did 77 million. On 5th of March, when Nio announced the earnings, we saw 94 million. Before that, 94 million, very close to 100 million in volume, which is pretty nice. I want to see that because we did go to $4.78. And we talked about if Nio goes below $5, it's getting back up super quickly. So if you made money, congratulations, hats off to you, and I'm happy for you, right? The call option, we are seeing more and more call interest and call open volume, open interest and call volume. Take a look, 15,000, 2,000, 22,000, 35,000, so on and so forth. The puts are getting weaker and weaker in my personal opinion. So this is also telling us a good story. I'm not going to do a ton of analysis on the chart because I want to do a dedicated separate video maybe like in the next few days, so watch out for that if you are really interested. But one thing I wanted to tell you is Nio is in a larger time frame of things. I am seeing the barcoding pattern, and what Nio is trading is between 535. Yes, it did go to 480, 478 or whatnot, but it is trending between or trading between 535 and really 585. Very small range, 585, 535. Goes to 585, goes back down to 565, 535, and goes back up. So that's what it has been going on. What I can also see in terms of the RSI, very similarly follows this. This red chart is the RSI. RSI is Relative Strength Index. Now, if you see oversold, that means in the short term, Nio will go up. One of the reasons which Nio is holding right now is the short sellers for the last few days, especially after the earning, they have been pretty cautious. But there are two reasons. Number one, there is not much room for Nio to go down because we are already beaten up. How far we can get beaten up, right? And the second reason is they know that at one point, if Nio turns back and it gets profitable, if they sells more and more cars, it is going to be profitable. This is not Mullen or this is not Joshua's like small company. Yes, it is not Tesla either, as I always have been telling. But again, it is a substantial business. The money is not a problem for Nio, right? Nio has good funding. They got the back from some of the big investors that they don't really have any money shortage, so they will keep fueling as long as they believe in the company. With all that, I'm seeing a pretty good silver lining for Nio. If you do as well, support the channel, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I will see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.